We're going to walk on over to Anthony, who's been tracking these hot temperatures. You know, I was saying this morning, it's hot, but it's only going to get hotter.
It's going to get worse. And what we've really settled into, going back to the weekend when we worked together on Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah.
We had a high that day of 95 degrees, and we've been in the 90s going all the way back to yesterday. And I've got the mid-90s again today for highs. Starting tomorrow, I've got triple-digit heat in the forecast. So here's where we're starting the day. Lower 80s from Tomball, Sugar Land, all the way out to Houston, Galveston, 82 degrees. So it's warm right now. We have our first heat advisories of the year for our western cities. So the counties of Austin, Colorado, Wharton, and Jackson. The reason we have this from 1 to 8 o'clock today is because the feels like number, the heat index, is climbing to 108 degrees. Does not include Houston or Galveston County. I think tomorrow it does, because I think we get into that territory.
Right.
Today, I think the high is going to be 96, which is where we've been, but the heat index climbing to 106. So we're getting close to that magical number of 108. And the reason they have 108 degrees, the National Weather Service, is because once you get to 105 degrees, your body has a hard time cooling itself. So you get a little excess there of 108 degrees, and so it's really difficult, especially as the days go by. Yeah. If you're doing anything outside, you're working outside. Right. Some people go out and run in the afternoon, right. And so your body really breaks down at that point. So it becomes dangerous in that situation. Think of the elderly at home without air conditioning.
Absolutely.
And you have this kind of heat in your house, your body really starts to fall apart. And so that's why we have those warnings. So here's what we were talking about. 96 today. You were mentioning we haven't seen the worst of it yet. 100 Wednesday. By the way, Thursday, we could tie, maybe even break a record high from 2011, which was a really hot year.
Yeah.
And so already we're starting to climb. And so taking a look at the Futurecast feels like numbers, I've got 106 today. This is why I think we get a heat advisory tomorrow, 108. But this 110, 113 degree territory is when we get excessive heat warnings, and that really becomes dangerous. I know you like these graphics.
Right.
So this is what's called a high pressure dome. This is the first one we've had this year. So we've had regular high pressure patterns off and on over the past several months. But what we have for the first time this year is we have a dome of high pressure that's formed over South and Central Texas. So what happens is when you look at the upper levels of the atmosphere, it's an upper level high. So the clockwise flow of this, the air sinks. And so that sinking air is a compressed air, and that's a hot air. And so it's really much more about physics than it is about meteorology, because as that air sinks, it compresses, kind of like the air inside your tire. If you ever like pump your tire and then feel around the tube, it's really hot.
Oh yeah, yes.
You let it out, it's cool, but inside it's compressed and it's hot, and that's the pattern we have. And by the way, this high, Central South Texas, I don't have it moving for at least 10 days.
I was just going to ask you if you see any relief in sight.
I don't have any relief. Here's the answer to your question.
Look at that.
I've got 100 to 102 degrees through Thursday of next week.
Have we ever had a 10-day all triple digits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, last June. Last June was like this. Now, the entire month was brutal. We've actually had a pretty good start to the month of June. I
recall it being a very dry June, really all summer, right?
We were in a drought. Yeah. And August, usually August is our hottest month. August wasn't bad because we started getting rain. Once you get rain, it really lowers the temperature.
Right.
But this is the beginning. If you look at the 14-day forecast, which are not usually that accurate, in 2 weeks, it shows the high actually moving away.
And when you talk about that high, that's the reason why we're not seeing rain. Will this have any impact on the hurricane season?
Yes, if there's a big dome of high pressure, there's not going to be a hurricane coming our way, at least, because it's really focused on South Texas, Central Texas, so Louisiana could be an issue. Also, by the way, and I don't have that graphic here, there is a severe thunderstorm threat for our far northern cities because that dome basically ends at College Station, Huntsville, and Livingston. So on that outer edge, they could see some strong thunderstorms today. I didn't put that graphic in here, but they have a severe weather threat this afternoon. We don't.
They're just on the other side.
On that outer edge, there's going to be storms from today all the way through the weekend.
Okay, good to know. We know it's hard to keep up with all these amazing tips our team gives you. This is why we compiled a section on our website, click2houston.com, dedicated to the heat. All you have to do is head on over to Click2, click the search bar and search heat. You will find articles on how to save money and stay safe.